Thomas Jefferson climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Come
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Run Pure Sports Round 3 Showdown Show. I am Red Kachik, and I'm joined tonight by Locks to talk a little bit about the Fedex St. Jude Classic for Round 2. Probably recap a little bit of Round 1 and Round 2, and then talk about some Round 3 winners. It's an interesting event with only 70 guys, and so 6 to 6 is 100%. So that's always a little tougher. And then Showdown is brutal. I mean, these guys are all – you pretty much jam in everybody that's a good play, and they shoot 3 or 4 under par, and you might not cash. So contest selection is key. But we'll get to some winners here in a second. I'll bring in Locks. How's everything with you, man?
Yeah, going okay. Obviously a no-cut event, so everybody's through. Everybody's got a 6 out of 6. I mean, 100% 6 out of 6, baby. I'm feeling good. I'm just kidding.
You're at least live. You're at least live.
Everybody's live for the most part, you know. The core is looking solid, so my teams are right in there. I actually like where they're at. I like not being at the top right now, to be honest with you. So I'm actually excited to dive into round 3 winners today. I think I got some low-owned plays that'll be solid. I'm sure you got a few, too, to throw in there. So just excited to keep hammering some guys that I've been playing that maybe haven't panned out. But those are the guys I like to target in round 3 for maybe a comeback round on moving day. So looking forward to diving in.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well today. I was heavy on Fowler, and he decided to give up, I guess, today. But JBC has been great in chat and given a lot of tips on player pool and honestly running lineups and figuring out your player pool for the number of lineups you're wanting to run. So shout out to JBC. If you haven't, you can definitely drop him any questions you want if you're in the RPS Discord. But it's been fantastic. He's already talking about if he was a good play today, he's going to be a good play tomorrow, and that's kind of the way it works for Showdown when comparing it to the full week slate anyway. So, yeah, we can dive into the top of the board. Happy to have everybody joining in. If you haven't already, definitely hit the like and subscribe. I will be reading the comments, so feel free to ask any questions that you have, comments, anything fun. I just saw a Golf Digest article. So this is for later after the show ends, obviously. Some type of scandal that was like a 7-month investigation. I got through like half of it, Locks. You might want to check it out. It's pretty interesting. I guess they had a golf academy. They hired some fraud, and he was like Butch Harmon's protege, and then he was he worked with Phil Mickelson and all this stuff, and he bamboozled him, and now he's in jail, I guess. I didn't get to the end of it, but yeah, you can find that. Yeah, you don't see many crazy tales in the golf industry. No, for the most part. And when they are crazy, they're pretty out there. So I'm interested to figure out what actually went on. But this one started off pretty sweet. I wish there was a Netflix documentary instead of reading it. But for another time, let's dive into the top of the leaderboard. So we'll just hit the 8 unders and up. It's a pretty good range there. And again, I talked about this last night with Snyder. So you know, in most events, obviously, after the cut, this is basically like an after the cut, right? You got 70 guys through the cut, more or less. That's basically what a cut line would be. So not too afraid to target some of these guys at the top of the leaderboard. We kind of saw Glover do pretty well. Obviously, Spieth played decent. So not too afraid to target guys playing well. And in a small field like this, you know, they're liable to be, you know, one of the low scorers for the round. In Showdown at least. So don't be afraid to play some of these guys up top. But with that being said, we can dive into 8 under to 10 unders. We got Lucas Glover there at -10, Jordan Spieth at -9, and then a handful of guys, some really good plays actually. And to be honest, I mean, the average salary in this top 7 is $8,100. So it's a pretty top heavy range, all things considered. But to be honest, the one guy that stands out the most to me is just a value play in this range, and that's Emiliano Grillo. So talked about him last night. I think he's definitely hitting the ball well. Had a great summer with a win. I think Grillo's in good shape, and at 7,400, he kind of opens up some salary so you can spend up as we go down the board here in a second for some 10K guys. But yeah, I don't really feel super excited to chase Lucas Glover. Jordan Spieth, after yesterday and today, I mean, it just seems like magic beans all over again. So not super interested there. I faded Tom Kim. I might lose my ass this week. I'm going to keep fading him. Honestly, his stats don't look great, so I'm not going to be playing a ton of Tom Kim. But yeah, for me, it's really Grillo in this 8 under to 10 under range. I think Grillo is my favorite value, one of my favorites on the board for sure. He's got 16 shots inside of 18 feet. He's made 7 of them, so he's making a few putts. I think he has the most opportunity to shoot another low round. And at 7,400, he's not like a spin up where you really do need a 600 round to pay off.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I do have one more to add in that range. Otherwise, I'm literally with you. I'm crossing out the entire range. I was also off of Tom Kim for the most part. I played a little bit of him, but I'm not going to do it. He's half injured. I can't trust it. Yeah, he looked great in round 1, but that can go away. I mean, you're walking on that ankle. It's getting worse and worse as the week goes on. So I'm just not going to go there.
He's had a few like really good shots, but like for the course of 2 days, I mean, just to put it in comparison, I just talked about Grillo having 16 shots inside of 18 feet. Tom Kim only has 8 shots. He has half the number of shots inside of 18 feet. So like his opportunities don't match up for how well he's playing. Excuse me. So that's really the reason. And honestly, somewhat of a personal bias if I faded him for the full week slate and he was popular. At 70, was he 7,800 or something like that? 7,900,
somewhere
and now he's 8,700. Like, there's no way I'm gonna start chasing his price and chasing some steamed ownership. So yeah, that's just to put that in perspective. Like, there's also a reason, not just fading him for the sake of fading him for his ankle injury. He's really not striking as well as I think some of the stats show.
Exactly. And that's what I was getting at as well. So I'm just going to be off of him. The guy I will be on is Fleetwood. I loved him coming in just this year. You know, he's due for a win. At some point, he's going to get his first PGA Tour win. I thought it was going to be this week. Looking like it could be. So I'm going to keep riding it. I'm going to ride him out to the end, probably all the way through Sunday. So I'm going to play him every round. I'm with you on Grillo. I love him tomorrow. I'm not chasing the Sung JM. Super low round today. He hasn't looked that good lately. So, I mean, I don't see him following that up with another round like that. He'll probably shoot 2-3 under, but I mean, that's not enough to make me want to play him tomorrow. So I'm off of him. It's really Fleetwood and Grillo for me.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So it's interesting as we go down into the 7 under range, like the 8s and 10s, the guys are definitely, playing well, obviously, but they're not hitting it as well as some of these guys at the 7 under range. And I think there's a lot of I said flop lag so many times last night, but unfortunately we're gonna have to do the same thing. But like, you're gonna pay up for one of these ranges, and I think this is a good spot to do it. Either McIlroy or Scotty Scheffler is totally fine. Scotty's actually gaining strokes putting. So Snyder talked about him last night as he kind of found something on the back nine. So I have him gaining. I do have him gaining. I have him gaining about 0.05 strokes per hole on the green. So he's slightly positive. McIlroy is slightly negative. And between those two, I would lean a little bit McIlroy. But Scheffler's been playing so well, I think he gets a little bit lower ownership because of the McIlroy round today and some of the stats that we see from him. So I do like those two, and this would be a range that I would spend up for. I think these guys feel like they're in contention, and there's a little bit of motivation to I think Scheffler talked about it to begin the week. Like, he said he's not super into this week as he gets ready for Eastlake because, he's not trying to tire himself out. But I think if these guys get into a position to win, they're definitely going to keep the pedal down. And these two definitely are in that position to get into contention for Sunday. So Scheffler, McIlroy, I like in this range. The other one that I'm kind of looking at really is Lee Hodges at 6,900. I think he's another guy that we talked about last night. He's been playing great golf, has a win a couple weeks ago, and across the board, he's gaining in almost every single category. Not quite at the elite level as McIlroy, but in this range, and he's at 6,900. It provides some pretty good savings. So that's really it for me. It's really a spin up spot. I honestly want to probably get to Scheffler, but I do like Rory. He's probably going to be pretty jockey, and then Lee Hodges continues to play really, really well.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in tune with you here. I'm probably a little different on the next one, though. I'm not going to be on Hodges too much. Okay. I just don't feel comfortable chasing a 500 round from him. He has looked solid, don't get me wrong. Tee to green wise all around, looks like it's solid tomorrow. I think he's going to get steamed up, so I'm going to be off him. I actually like Poston. The guy just continues to produce. Same as Hodges, so pick your poison. Really, I can see playing either one. I'm just personally off of Lee Hodges tomorrow. I'm going to be on Poston. Just looks too good lately. Putted out of his bunghole today, but I think he turns it around tee to green wise tomorrow, and we could see a low one from him too. So just a guy that's playing really well right now that I don't want to knock off.
No argument there. Yeah, he's been playing great for a while.
I'm definitely with you on McIlroy and Scheffler. I will spend up for them tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, I think this is a nice spot on a Saturday. They talk about moving day, and I could see those two trying to make a move. They're actually paired together, I think, tomorrow. Yeah, they're going off at 11-14. So I don't know. Could be a little bit of mojo if they get it going. You could stack them both and try to go crazy with a lineup if you want.
Yeah, and I think too, Drew. Honestly, I know it means really nothing, but they want to get that first spot too in the final tournament.
Yeah,
because you get a couple shot lead. It's huge. They're going to be, if they're both in contention, they're going to want to win this.
Yeah, and I think Rory stole it from Scheffler last year, and Scheffler doesn't want to do that again, even with his, pretty good round. People talking about player of the year for Rahm, but overall, Scheffler's been so solid all year, so consistent. And for him to lose the FedEx Cup last year, as little as it might mean, they still don't like losing on the very last leg of we'll call it a series of tournaments. So I think there's a lot of added motivation that might not be seen on the surface there. We can move down into the 600 range. To be honest, I'm not super thrilled about anybody here. I know a lot of guys in chat keep going back to Homa. He's actually gotten worse for me over the last round. Honestly, just 2 rounds, but over round 1 was okay. It was kind of like a bounce back spot. Today was a little bit worse. So I don't see myself getting to Homa. I'm going to spend up for Rory or Scotty. So I honestly, Xander's probably okay. I'm not going to play him tomorrow. I just can't get to him. There's no way I'm going to spend 10-4 for him when I could just play Rory for $1,000 more. And honestly, I'm not going to play any Jaeger or Rye. So yeah, in this range is kind of a dead spot. It's only 4 guys, but you can't play them all. And these guys definitely, besides Xander, grade out the worst for me almost in the entire field. So yeah, I'm not super excited in this range.
Interesting. I'm a little different here. I probably like 3 out of these 4 guys. Homa in my court to start the week. I think he's turned the corner here a little bit. He had a few bad tournaments. Everybody kind of hopped off, but I think he kind of found it again. I'm okay going back to him. He's not really a crazy price tomorrow, I think. $8,600, I think. So I'm totally fine paying that. I was going to be on Xander a little bit, actually, because he keeps getting overlooked, but at that price tag, I didn't know he was that high. I do think I agree with you there. That is just too steep.
He's a fine play, not considering price. But then when you're like, hey, I want to build a lineup, it doesn't make sense to throw in Xander. I would pivot anywhere to get up to Rory.
If you're playing a big GPP, then I'm okay taking.
He's in your pool. He's just in your pool. Yeah, exactly.
He's in your pool, but it's just not at that price tag. Yeah, I'd rather spend $800 more for Rory or even more for Scheffler. It is what it is at that point. But I'm also on Jaeger here. Coming in, I love the guy. He's just striping the ball, hitting the ball so well lately, all year, it seems like. So I'm going to continue to ride him. Yeah, he shot 500 today. I'm okay chasing it. If we can get another 400 or 500 round out of him tomorrow, it's well worth it at $7,200. So I'll be on Jaeger again tomorrow. And then, I got no interest in Aaron Rye, though, at all.
Yeah, again, Homa and Xander are kind of in a class of their own, so you can pretty much make the argument any round. But yeah, Jaeger and Rye are just not doing it for me for a lot of their opportunities. They're way lagging behind the field. I think he's 17% below the field average for both of Rye and Jaeger inside of 18 feet. Yeah, they only have 7 shots inside of 18 feet and 32 approaches, not counting the par 5. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm off them. And there's plenty of other values we can talk about. So I got 500 range, kind of bit. What's that?
So I got a couple values we'll hit on for sure.
There's plenty of guys. I punted Max Hughes today, and he was probably the best guy in my lineup because I played Fowler, who I see someone already wanting to troll about Fowler today because that was going to be my favorite play yesterday. And Fowler was trash. Yes, I understand. I know.
Guess what? He made my core already for tomorrow.
I saw that. You got to chase at some point, and there's no better guy than who's got 8 top 10s in the last 12 events.
Shooting 62 tomorrow.
I would love that. I'm going to have to play him now. God, it hurts. It hurts when you get burned in the round.
Just he's shooting 62 tomorrow.
What's that? What do you mean?
Snip it, just in case.
Oh, snip it. Sorry, I thought you said nip it. I don't know what that meant. It's like, yeah. All right, we can talk about the 500 range. Again, don't forget to hit the like button and drop any comments that you like. 500 range, pretty big. We got 12 guys in this range. Some spin up options and a lot of values. We got guys that are 6,100 and 6K. Mac Hughes is back in this range. He's not going to make my list for tomorrow. I think Ben Griffin might actually at 6K flat. Punting off a 6K guy in this type of event isn't the worst thing in the world. It's still considered they're the top 70 on the PGA Tour this season. So you can at least make that argument they're worth the value just off of the price itself. But there's 3 guys that really stand out the most for me. Morikawa, played him today, looked really solid. He looked solid in round 1. He's only 9,400. I mean, all things considered, he's probably been the most consistent ball striking wise. He's gained on 80% of his tee shots and 69% of his approaches. Morikawa, 15 shots. He's got 10 shots inside of 12 feet. I mean, I think that leads the field. He's too short of Scheffler. Scheffler leads the field. But McIlroy's playing really good golf. Russell Henley continues to really strike the ball well. So I don't mind going to Henley. I think he's actually going to be overlooked because I don't think his stats pop off for a ton of people. And like I said, so looking at PGA Showdown, we have 14 shots inside of 18 feet for him. And Binion, again, I just saw in the Discord, someone dropped it in there, and sounds like you're going to be on him as well. Binion, 7,500 for him. Again, playing some really good golf, playing probably the best golf he's played in the last couple of years, and hitting a lot of shots, a lot of opportunities. He's got 17 shots inside of 18 feet, and he's actually putting a lot better. He's not putting great this week. He's not like excelling on the greens, but he's definitely putted well for the last 2 or 3 months. So Binion, we'll call him a value, 7,500, but he's definitely a nice mid-priced value, if we can call him that. So, yeah, for me, I think I'm going to punt off Ben Griffin in a few lineups and get weird with the top range with Scheffler and or McIlroy. But, yeah, I think these are a nice spot for Morikawa at 9,400 if you start with McIlroy or Scheffler. And then as far as like a mid-range filler, Henley and Binion are both in play for me.
You're on mute there. About to start talking. There we go. Yeah, I love that call. Binion is actually one of my favorite here. Ben Griffin is another guy. Absolutely love that you mentioned him. He's one of the values that, 6K flat for a guy. I think the stats were crazy. I was looking at how many inside of 15 feet for him, I think. He was up there today too. It's just, how do you not play a guy at 6K flat that can get you like Rory and Scheffler and those guys in your lineup that can easily do what he did today and shoot another 400 or 500 round? I'll gladly play that anytime. I'm going to X out Cantlay, X out Henley, X out Siwoo. No Kurt Kitayama for me. No interest in Thigala or Svensson. So for me, it's Morikawa, Schenk, and Binion up here. And then I actually will probably sprinkle in a little bit of Andrew Putnam. Liked him coming into the week. Just tee to green wise, he's been playing solid for the most part. Not so great today, but kept it at least together with the putter. So I'll be going back to him a little bit. Another value play. I think Schenk, Putnam, and Ben Griffin are great value plays at this number here. So I could see them all shooting a low round and allowing us to fit in a lot of these top guys.
Yeah, Schenk is kind of a fringe play. I played him actually in round 1 Showdown, and I didn't play him today. And Schenk he projects really well on this golf course specifically, just from a birdies and bogeys weighted standpoint for me is kind of how I do projection. So Schenk and at the price 6,300 makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I think again, if you even want to call it a spin up, Morikawa is kind of good value considering how well he's playing. So it sounds like we're both on Binion as well. And we can move down into the 4 under range. Not too big. Let's see here. Yeah, this is going to be strange for definitely going to be in the player pool, but for lineup construction, single entry hand building will be a little bit tricky. But Victor Hovland is checking a lot of boxes for me, but he's expensive. So 9,900. So really, like we just talked about, Xander 10-4. I don't see how I can play Xander when I could go up to Rory. Victor Hovland's on the borderline. Like I would almost fade Rory and Scheffler to play Hovland and Morikawa, and I wouldn't go as deep down into the 6K range. So Hovland's been playing great. His irons are phenomenal. He's got 11 shots inside of 12 feet. He has 4 shots inside of 6 feet. So he's definitely sticking it. Other guys in this range, Thomas Dietrich played pretty well today, gained on 82% of his tee shots. And that's probably it. I think Eric Cole's always worth considering. He's 7,200 for tomorrow. Honestly, he's been playing really good. It looks like he's going to get it rolling. Like he's starting off hot and then just cools off quickly. So I think Eric Cole might be one of those guys that has been steamed up the last 2 days. And maybe tomorrow people kind of jump off because he hasn't gone super low yet. So Eric Cole for me. And like I said, I think Hovland could win someone a tournament tomorrow. But at the price, you're really going to have to make a choice if he's going to be your high up spend. Or I guess you would have to fade Morikawa to play him with Scheffler or McIlroy. So he's in the pool. It really depends on how your values look. But, yeah, I do like Victor Hovland quite a bit. It's just the price makes it a little bit tricky with lineup construction.
Yeah, I'm torn between that because Hovland for me is just he's been so tilting to me every year. I never get the guy correct. So it's just a guy I never personally play. If you want to get – I think he's actually going to be way lower owned than Scheffler and McIlroy tomorrow. So if you want to get different, I don't mind that. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't really seen projections yet as far as ownership goes. But correct me if I'm wrong, Drew. You think he's?
He'll be lower owned. I don't know about a lot lower owned. I mean, I think even Scheffler today was like 26% owned or something like that. Like it's just some of these ownerships are crazy on the top guys. So and then it's so spread out. So yeah, he'll be lower owned. Yes. How much? I don't know. He could be 18. He could be 20%.
Yeah, true.
I don't think he's going to be like 12.
No, I don't think he's going to be that low. But it's just a guy. It's like I'm torn between. I can see going there, and I probably will a couple lineups just to be different and save that salary because he opens up a lot of options too. If you go down from him instead of the top guys, you can get him You can get him in there with the top guys. Honestly, a couple times. So I don't mind that call. I think he could easily go low again. Eric Cole kind of had an off day today. I could see him bouncing back in a big way. He actually seems to play really well on weekends for the most part. So I'm okay going to Eric Cole. I like that call. Honestly, here, nothing really else jumps out at me other than maybe Hideki played pretty good today, I think. I mean, hit the ball pretty well. And I just think he couldn't make a freaking putt. That's the story of his life. It's the story of his life, but I mean, get some putts to fall tomorrow, buddy, and you could fall into a 600 round. So I like Matsuyama tomorrow. I don't think he's going to get too steamed up, so I'm going to go there. Honestly,
he's kind of sneaky. Like he hasn't like he'd be further under par had he hit it a little bit closer. But I will say to your point, he has made nothing. Like he has 12 shots inside of 18 feet. He's made one of those putts. So, like, inside of 18 feet, yeah, I mean, what does that mean? Like, I could even go inside of 12 feet. He has 6 shots, and he's only made one of those. He's only made one putt inside of 6 feet. Like, it's he's left a lot out there. He just – I think his game is hitting it to 4 or 5 feet on a couple holes, birdie the par 5s, and shoot 5 under par. He just has not hit it as close to his standards. But, yeah, he's left a lot out there. He's made like one putt inside of 20 feet all week. So
that's another guy too. That I mean, what's his price tag? Is he cheap?
8K, yeah, real cheap.
8K. That's a guy that could fire you a 63 tomorrow.
He's a 9K. I mean, I would price him at 9,200, right? I mean, he's a 9K guy.
I think he's too cheap.
I mean, look at what he's priced under certain guys that make no sense. I mean, he's cheaper than Jason Day.
I kind of look at it like Matsuyama at 8K or 9,900 for Hovland is my,
Yeah, I just was tinkering with it. So, like, McIlroy and Scheffler makes it really tough. But, like, you could start a lineup with Hovland, Morikawa, and I'll throw in Matsuyama, and that leaves 7,500 on average. So it's really not the worst thing, especially if you don't want to dip down into the 6Ks and punt off 2 guys. Because if you play any 9K guy with McIlroy, you're basically punting off at least 2 6K guys and probably going to be a min-price 6K guy. Yeah. It gets a little bit ugly. Again, it's showdown. Any of those can work out. And at the price, it just opens up the top price guys. But yeah, I think at 8K, he should probably be more in consideration than I even talked about initially.
Yeah.
I mean, all things considered, Hovland versus Matsuyama, 2K difference. I mean, that's probably a pretty fair line, right? I mean, 2K seems way off.
I think so. I mean,
yeah.
At that point, I'm maxing out Hovland playing Hideki all day.
I think if you view it that way, it makes a lot more sense to say, okay, you want to play Hovland or Matsuyama? What are the line? Well, okay, Matsuyama's a small dog. Okay, is he worth $2,000 cheaper?
Sure.
No, he's not. So, yeah, that actually clarifies quite a bit in my mind of what I want to do with Hovland and Matsuyama. So we can move down into we got Brendan Todd at -3. We'll talk about the -2s. Honestly, man, there's not a ton of guys down here. Chris Kirk continues to hit a lot of close shots, so I'll probably keep him in the pool.
Nobody for me.
Nobody for you? Okay, yeah, it's really just Chris Kirk and JJ Spawn. JJ Spawn's kind of a punt spot. I kind of been playing him a little bit this week, hoping because he shot 62 here last year in the opening round, and I feel like he has that first round lead in him to go low, and it could be on a Saturday. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I've kind of been chasing a JJ Spawn 62, and then Chris Kirk, like I said. So we can move down from there into the -1s. Got John Rahm here at 10-9. Actually, stats-wise, looks pretty decent. Makes it really tough with the top guys again. But, yeah, Hatton at 8,900 is probably a core play for me. Checks a lot of boxes. Again, I think he's a great course fit. And just looking from a consistency standpoint, I don't see like a huge number out of him. Like a good – I don't see a way for him to shoot like even par. I feel like 300 is probably his floor. He had 22 shots inside of 24 feet. So you're basically – if you're inside of 24 feet on 75% of your holes, you're probably not going to have too much trouble. So I do like Hatton quite a bit. And he's been still hitting it pretty close. He's got 7 shots inside of 12 feet. So pretty solid. Outside of that, man, in the 1-unders, I don't see anybody that is super enticing. So I'll just pass. Corey Connors is losing strokes ball striking. Imagine that. So yeah, it's really just Hatton. Rahm's fine to keep in your pool if you're playing more than 5 lineups. But yeah, Hatton's the guy for me here.
Rahm's at even, but we can tie them in together.
Oh, sorry, I got him at 1.
No, you're fine because I was going to talk about him too, so that works out perfectly. Yeah, like I said, there's not a single guy at 2 under that I'm going to play. I don't like any of them. For me though, the -1s, I'm really only crossing out a couple guys. I love Tyrrell Hatton. Absolutely love him. I love Brian Harmon tomorrow. And I like Nick Taylor at the price tag. I mean, if I can get Nick Taylor at $6,100, I don't really know why I wouldn't do it. Just won a tournament a few weeks ago, or a little while back. And it's a guy at $6,100. If I want to fit these top guys in, I could choose a lot different players, a lot worse players than him. So right. I'm totally fine going to Nicky T tomorrow. Think he can have a solid day for us, get us a 4 or 5 under round. So I'm okay playing those 3 guys. I'm going to X out Connors. I'm going to X out Buckley. And then jumping down into the evens, I love Denny. I love Rahm. And I don't know. I'm torn on Jason Day. Maybe you can lean me one way or the other. I'm leaning towards Xing him out. I don't really like him. Not grading out well for me. So I think I'm going to be heavy on Rahm and McCarthy and pretty much off everybody else here as well.
Yeah, McCarthy stands out a ton. And he must have done it all today because I think he was like mediocre, slightly above average yesterday. Man, he looks phenomenal. He's 17% over the field in every single bucket, basically. He is leading the field right now in shots inside of 10 feet with 9. He's tied with Victor Hovland. So, yeah, Denny McCarthy is a very solid option for tomorrow. And he is only at 7,300. So if you want to talk about values, that's a pretty good one. I think
he's too cheap too, man. Whew.
He is. I think last week burned so many people.
This is the price you play him at.
Well, it's either this price or 10K.
Yeah, 1 or 2. Nothing in between.
Nothing in between. No, you don't pay him at 8,700 when you think he's cheap.
God, tilted him last week, man. He's giving me my money back tomorrow.
All right, let's see here. So we can jump down into the you can just finish out the range. So +1s down to Wyndham Clark holding up DFL. Dude,
tomorrow.
You gonna go back to Wyndham Clark?
I think
you're not gonna go. You're not gonna play Wyndham Clark. 8,500. You're not gonna play Wyndham Clark.
You're not gonna play him. You don't want to play him? I think you got to throw him in a GPP. If you're playing GPP, you got to play Wyndham Clark.
I mean, I see all the comments on Fowler. I'm definitely going back to Fowler.
Yeah. Oh, I'm for sure playing Fowler. He's already in my core. I actually like a lot of guys on here going out early tomorrow. I think the afternoon, honestly, there's going to be some gusts and stuff. And yeah, it doesn't affect these guys too much, but it's still a slight advantage if you're going out early in the morning with a little bit calmer conditions. So I don't know. I'm going to play a decent amount of guys down here, probably at lower ownership, hopefully. But for me, it's probably Fowler. Smalley, I liked coming into the week. He can catch it at any point. Sam Burns, I think he's just barely off. So I'm going to probably fire a lot of Sam Burns tomorrow. He's in my core as well. I like Sam Burns tomorrow. He's going to be low owned, I think. So I like them coming into the week. I'm not hopping off now. The rest of this range all the way up to like +1, I'm not really on. I'll probably sprinkle in a little Harris English tomorrow. But that's probably pretty much it for me. Those couple of guys I mentioned down here, my favorites are probably Fowler, Burns, and Smalley, if I had to rank them.
Yeah, it's really just Ricky Fowler for me. I'll go right back to it for the same reason I liked him today. And to be honest, he actually was just as good today. I mean, almost as good as today as he was on Thursday. I have him with 7 shots inside of 20 feet, 5 shots inside of 15 feet. So again, man, he's got lots of opportunities. Just having blow-up holes. He got wet again today. He hit one in the water yesterday. He lost 2 strokes on approach on 1 hole, and then he made a double without a penalty, I think, on like hole 3 or something earlier today too. So yeah, Fowler, I'm just gonna go right back. He's gonna win. He's gonna win my money back at some point today or tomorrow, or Sunday. I'll throw out one more just ugly guy, but to be honest, his numbers look pretty good outside of strokes gained, which again I don't really love for Showdown, and that is Seamus Power at 6,200, going off really really early. I have him with a lot of shots, both inside of 6 feet and inside of 12 feet. So he's got 5 shots inside of 6 feet. So I think Seamus Power is a really interesting punt for tomorrow, and that's probably it. Again, it's just mainly Fowler and Seamus, man. Yeah, 9 shots inside of 15 feet. Pretty good. So
that's impressive.
It just opens up a lot of opportunities, and that's all I want for Showdown is some guy that has opportunities for a lot of birdies. Yep. And 6,200, I'll take a shot.
Absolutely.
All right, you want to build a core?
Let's do it.
All right, we'll do 2 we like, and then we'll do 1 of each of our own flavors. I mean, he's already in your core, right? It's either Benny On or Ricky we can take, or both of them, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess we throw out both of them.
All right, so the first 2, make it nice and easy. Benny On, number 1, Ricky Fowler. Apologies if you played Ricky Fowler yesterday or today.
Fire back up.
We're gonna throw him right back in today. So
short-term memory, gotta have one.
I mean, it doesn't change their projections so much round over round anyway. So
nope.
Yeah, it does hurt when, especially if you had nice 5 guys and one guy blows it up. But yeah, you go right back to them.
JBC said it perfectly. What made them good plays today makes them good plays tomorrow.
Exactly, 100%.
Exactly what it is.
Yep. Same thing for full week stuff in Showdown. Makes you good for the full week. You go right back. It doesn't matter if Justin Rose shot 78 or whatever he was, 76. You go right back to Justin Rose if you liked him on Wednesday night. So. All right, if you got a guy, you can throw him out there. Let me peruse this leaderboard and see if I have my own flavor. Feel free to spin up. We have, we hit kind of the mid-range and expensive guy, I guess. But yeah, hit whatever you want. I'll fill it in from there.
I think I'm going to go somewhat mid-range and throw out Tyrrell Hatton. Finished 4 under his last 10 holes today. Kind of found his form a little bit. So I think we could see a low round out of Mr. Tyrrell Hatton tomorrow. So I'd say I'm throwing him in there for us.
Okay. So I'm going to throw out someone for the core. And obviously, if you guys want to take a different path and pay up for Scheffler, McIlroy, this might have to be swapped out a little bit or manipulate some of these mid-range guys. But I think Morikawa should certainly be in your core for tomorrow. 9,400 still feels cheap as well as he's striking it. I mean, just phenomenal game from tee to green right now. 9,400, I don't feel like I'm breaking the bank. It still opens me up. I have enough salary left to spend up if I need to. So, again, we have Benny On, Ricky Fowler,
Hatton,
and Colin Morikawa. And that is the core for tomorrow. If you don't want to play Fowler, sorry that you don't win any money tomorrow. But
that's winning a lot of money tomorrow.
I like it. Back to back. The core yesterday was pretty good, except for my own tomfoolery with Ricky. But we'll go right back to it.
This core is going full send. I'm calling it right now.
I like it. Just lock in 4 guys and just run it however you want. Wide open and saber. So, all right. Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in. Definitely hit the like button. I see plenty of comments, so I appreciate you guys interacting. Use the code NFL23. You got preseason NFL. NFL is right around the corner. And obviously with the PGA Tour playoffs, a lot of big showdown contests, especially as we get into the last 2 legs of the Fedex Cup. So thank you all for tuning in. Good luck tomorrow. Good luck to Ricky Fowler. Win us some money. Thank you, Locks. See ya.
Thank you, sir.